your router, network mask, those information. We will see it on the next picture. The ping command will usually test if you can reach the host or not. Like for example, you set up an IP camera and you assign an IP address, a fixed IP address, which we must do always. And I need to know, is this camera communicating? I already put the power and I wire physically, network cable. I want to test if I can reach that camera. Then use the ping command. The next command is telnet, which is also free, comes with Windows. So I'm trying to test the port here, port 8. Telnet, in this case I'm testing a public IP address. Like for example, I'm here, I'm sitting in my local area network, and I have a remote IP camera. Or maybe I have a remote Geovision or Neo server, DVR7. And I try to use the webcam server, but I cannot get video. And I say, hey, I remember the port that I set up for the server. I want to test first if the port forwarding is done right. So I will just tell it and then space, the IP address, space, port 80. In this case, the screen will show me that it's connected. So in that case, I will know that the port forwarding is done right, but there is something other than that going on. Maybe I need to open more ports. The address resolution protocol will usually show you neighboring devices, like the same way that we could share to the local IP cameras. And we'll see that later on. Also, one more thing that I always use is enable universal plug and play on Windows in my network places. And also use of DHCP cable or routers. Those will show me the devices that are connected to the router. We'll see it on the next page. So here I'm using 4 commands. The IP configuration command, which shows me the IP address of the computer where I am, and it also shows me my router address. The next command is address resolution protocol, and here it's showing me that this is my interface, this is my router, and a couple of other devices here. You see that this one says invalid because the MAC address, which the media access control, is all zeros. So the MAC address cannot be all zeros because I disconnected that device. While I was doing the test, I disconnected that device. So here, it still remains in the memory, but it will go away. So I have 2 other devices that show in my network. And in this case, I was testing the camera.
Will that show all devices on the local network?
Yes.
It goes out and finds all of them?
Yes. It will show you the devices that your computer is talking to, or your computer has access to. And here I'm pinging the remote IP address. This is the internet IP address. And you see that I received replies, 4 replies. And here it says, lost 0 packets. So we sent 4 packets, we received 4 packets back. And here I'm testing also telnet, the same IP address, port 80. Usually the screen will tell you to connect. So in that case, so otherwise it will give the error message. Will say you cannot reach the network port. This is my network places. All I did here is before it was shown, I finished for UPnP network devices. And the camera I was testing, it popped right away. And this is also my router. So I was testing the camera with the router. We have everything we need to configure this camera. The next thing is the DHCP table. So you can see all the IP addresses in the network, the MAC address, which is the physical address, and the lease. So the MAC address is the permanent address or the physical address of the network card. So that's from the manufacturer. I mean, that would be a permanent. But the IP address You can change it. Let's come to fixed and dynamic IP address. We mentioned them before. The fixed IP address is always required for IP cameras. A fixed IP address never changes, and it needs a subscription if it's an internet IP address. But a dynamic IP address, you can also have a fixed IP address in your network, but that's private. You don't have to pay for that. Dynamic IP address, if it's provided by an internet service provider, or if you set it dynamic, it will always change. You don't have much control on it. It's the DHCP server, which your router that has control. So usually, we will set a fixed IP address for all IP cameras. Sometimes I receive calls, like the customer did not set a fixed IP address for the camera. So what happens is later on, if there is a power loss, or if the router wants to assign you IP address, the IP address of the camera changes. And then the video software, the console, will not receive any video from the camera because the video console has the old IP address. It cannot know the new IP address. So you cannot receive any video from that camera.
Question?
I'm sorry, I really don't have probably as much technical knowledge as anybody else here. Now, does each camera give its own fixed IP address?
Yes, because every network device needs an IP address. It comes with a default IP address. The camera comes with a default IP address. But the people who make the camera don't know the address information of your network. So it will come with a default IP address, and all cameras do. One thing that mobile text cameras are good is the IP address is always printed on the box or on the camera. But to know the default IP address of your new camera, if it's not mobile text, you need to open the box and then read the leaflet or the manual that comes with it. They will tell you in the manual. And it's always very important to read the manual. So every network device needs an IP address.
I think Mona's question was, how do we create unlimited fixed IP addresses?
How do we create and what?
Because if you have 1,000 cameras in a school or in a school district,